I do not think Kanye West meant any harm. The words of Culture Minister Olivia Babsy-Grange after controversy erupted over the unauthorized use of national emblems. TVJ News caught up with the minister at a function at the National Stadium earlier today. Kanye West and his choir lifting up praises at his Sunday service held at the Emancipation Park in St. Andrew Friday night. While patrons were blessed, condemnation followed due to the unauthorized use of Jamaica's symbols and emblems. The items branded "Jesus is King" have Jamaica's flag, coat of arms, the hummingbird, and the City of Kingston's logo.
But I don't think Kanye West meant any harm. I think they were just so excited about coming to Jamaica, and they thought doing the shirts and coming to Jamaica, wearing the shirts and all of that would have been well received. Yes, it was well received. What I was not aware of when I saw them on stage in the shirts, that they were also available online. And so when it was brought to my attention, I spoke to them and they immediately pulled them down.
The items, which include caps, t-shirts, and crewneck sweaters, were being sold for between $50 and $200. One should, however, get permission from the Office of the Prime Minister to use Jamaica's national symbols and emblems. Ms. Grange says a committee will review and strategize on the way forward.
I have now reconstituted that committee, and we will be meeting very soon to update the guidelines, at which time it will be announced to the press.
With UNESCO designating Kingston as a creative city of music, the Culture Minister reiterated that Jamaica is open for business.
Utilize our facilities, give our people work, spend your money in Jamaica, because it can only help the economy.
All the best.
And in this instance, it didn't cost the Jamaican government or my ministry any money. They spent over $1 million. Whatever the controversies may be about Kanye West comments, those are issues that only Kanye West can respond to. I can't respond to those. What I can say is that they came to Jamaica, they performed, a lot of young people.
The Court of Appeal this morning overturned the interim injunction which was granted to Montego Bay Pride, allowing the group use of the cultural center for a series of events. Now, this is the latest in the ongoing court battle between the gay rights group, Montego Bay Mayor Homer Davis, and the St. James Municipal Corporation. The St. James Municipal Corporation appealed Monday's ruling in the Supreme Court, citing a technicality. Its argument before the Court of Appeal was that Montego Bay Pride had not submitted an application to the Municipal Corporation for use of the cultural center. On Friday, Justice Patrick Brooks, one of 3 Court of Appeal judges who presided over the matter, said Supreme Court Judge Justice David Batts erred in his findings of the facts. Justice Brooks said the decision by Justice Batts must be set aside, further stating that a mandatory injunction could not be granted under the circumstances. In an interview with our news center, founder of Montego Bay Pride, Maurice Tomlinson, explained that he was not aware he had to seek permission from the municipal corporation.
We followed the procedure that was on the Montego Bay Cultural Center website, which was to make an email application to the operations manager, which was done, and that was confirmed. We were never told that we needed to apply for amusement license, and even so, when the mayor made a statement that he would not allow us for the sacredness of the space, it was before the period was open for us to apply. And then when we contacted the cultural center to ask what this meant, they said, based on the mayor's statement, we were not allowed to host events, and they cancelled our bookings.
Mr. Tomlinson further adds that Montego Bay Pride will meet to discuss Friday's ruling and decide its next step, including its application for a judicial review.
We are right now looking at our options, and we will announce that as soon as it's possible, because this is far from over. We're not done. And they have said that this is a technicality. We will address that technicality, because the conversation we want to have must take place at a central location that all Jamaicans can have access to.
Montego Bay Pride had a series of events scheduled for the Montego Bay Cultural Center, including a public forum on same-sex marriage and a film festival.
Welcome back to Primetime News, and a special welcome to those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com. Up first this evening, U.S. rapper Kanye West's Sunday service concert is just about starting in New Kingston, with commuters in the already busy business district bracing for possible traffic chaos. The authorities have been facing some backlash after the application and approval for the show left only a few days for preparation. Earlier today, TVJ News took the authorities to task about the rush preparation and just how ready they are for the event. Hours before the 7 p.m. start time, warm-up and rehearsals for Kanye West's pop-up Sunday service at Emancipation Park in New Kingston, St. Andrew on Friday. For the authorities, however, it's been a mad rush. This is what CEO of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, Robert Hill, said on Thursday.
We were contacted yesterday afternoon in relation to Kanye West coming to do a pop-up concert in the city of Kingston.
That triggered heated debates as many, including local promoters, questioned the quick approval for the Foreign Act, while Jamaicans have to wait weeks. We put that question to Mr. Hill.
I want to state categorically, both for local and for, well, external parties, foreigners in this case, there is an express service that we offer. Under these circumstances, this is a unique circumstance which has redounded to the credit of the city of Kingston, along with the Ministry of Culture and others. We have worked out a plan to ensure that the license was granted, and that license is granted under very strict conditions.
But that was not the only concern. A typical Friday evening in New Kingston brings a traffic nightmare. Most believe that adding a mega show like this to the business district is a recipe for disaster.
The Fire Brigade, the ODPEM and others have already done their due diligence, and the police are on the ground, and we are pretty satisfied at the moment, based on what we are seeing now, that all is in place.
On Knutsford Boulevard, Oxford Road, Park Boulevard, there should be no parking of motor vehicles. This will facilitate the smooth flow of vehicle and pedestrian traffic. That's the first situation. The other situation is that parking areas for persons coming to the show, there's paid parking at the NHT parking lots. Along the Golf Academy, through entrance to Ligani or through Marriott Court, there's also parking there. Additionally, the Kingston St. Andrew Municipal Corporation is facilitating parking along their St. Lucia Avenue, New Kingston parking areas. And for persons who want to park and ride at Ronnie Williams Entertainment Center, there's parking there.
In addition to new parking rules being implemented, SSP Terence Bent, who is in charge of police operations for the event, says scores of officers have been deployed to the park and its environs. With the police already stretched due to crime hotspots throughout the corporate area, we asked if this could be considered too much for one event.
It's better to have more and not need it than have less and then you don't have it to respond.
Despite the changes, public transportation has not been affected, as the JUTC and taxi operators will be allowed to operate as usual. In the meantime, the public has had mixed reactions to Kanye West's concert and the approval process.
From my colleagues, they said that they've found it to be something good for the economy, because what we realize is that there are a lot of tourists coming in just for the concert. So in turn, there's a lot of spending in.
Kanye, for me personally, is a very bipolar person, so you never can wrap your head around what he's going to do next. So this unexpected visit to Jamaica for his church function, I don't know. I think it's for a certain clout.
I'm not sure if it will impact economy-wise, because it was so short notice. I'm not sure if people would travel to come, but who knows, maybe people will travel to come.
A man from Seaforth St. Thomas remains hospitalized under police guard, and his family demanding justice after they say police shot him Wednesday night. Family members protested across from the police station on Friday, claiming police brutality. TVJ's Krista Campbell has more.
Placards capture the sentiments of these protesters as they appeal for their relative who was shot by police in Seaforth St. Thomas on Wednesday night. The injured man remains in hospital under police guard, but his relatives are taking issue with how the police acted. Leon, a cousin of the injured man, explains how it all started.
Yesterday, I go to the station and make a report that person is looking for me in a tilt-up, flat-shaped car in night. So I go to make the report, then take my statement, here till them don't go look for the person them. So me left I go home now, I saw me get attacked. Police in the station see what happened. Me have to lift up on my 2 foot them and run.
He says an eyewitness told his cousins what happened and things escalated from there.
The person who attacked me drive when I walk go home, on the lane, fast. I don't know what them having in their car, so I not take no check. So when my cousin them reach on here, things get out of hand. Me come down here, so run come down now. Police load one in my head, point for me and say drop that, I will kill you. So same time, him run, him fire one night here, them all on me. I don't know after that, because I then I lock down. Them all on me, they don't charge me for nothing. I get locked up from about after 11, I get released about after 7.
He says he doesn't know what happened after that, but heard one of his cousins, Ronald Porter, was shot and injured by police. Other relatives blasted the police for being unprofessional.
Because we go over there and attack them, going like so when I come over them, come ask them, no question, them a lock we up. Them not even come and tell us, say, okay, I am corporal this or that. Them just come in and a bad up people. And a chat boy, yo, go over this, go over this. We don't want them deal with us, so we are human beings just like them.
TVJ News tried unsuccessfully to get a response from the police about the incident. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Welcome back to Primetime News, and for those of you watching online at onespotmedia.com, a very special welcome to you. Up first this evening, the high-profile corruption case involving former Education Minister Ruel Reid, president of the Caribbean Maritime University, Professor Fritz Pinnock, and the other co-accused, has taken another twist. Defense attorney Hugh Wildman is seeking to have the charges brought against them by the Financial Investigative Division dropped. He made the revelation at a press briefing today. Now, TVJ's Anthony Lugg has the details.
In court a few weeks ago, attorney Hugh Wildman said the case involving Ruel Reid and his co-accused was a gun without a bullet. Now, the attorney who represents one of the co-accused, president of the Caribbean Maritime University, Fritz Pinnock, has another analogy to describe the case.
Well, now that one examines these charges and the law, I would say it is not a big gun without a bullet. It's nothing more than an imitation gun.
On Tuesday, Mr. Wildman filed an application in the Supreme Court for leave of judicial review seeking to quash the charges brought against Fritz Pinnock and Ruel Reid. Here's why. He questioned whether the Financial Investigation Division, FID, has jurisdiction under the Act.
They are a purely investigative body. They have no jurisdiction to lay charges and to do what they did, and also to have said that they were seeking a fiat from the DPP to prosecute these charges. They have absolutely no jurisdiction to do that. So we are saying that the entire proceedings that they initiated against the applicants, those proceedings are a nullity.
Those claims from the attorney, but the allegations remain. All 5 accused, including Reid's wife and daughter Sharon and Cheryl, as well as Counselor for Brownstone Division Kim Brown Lawrence, were accused of participating in a scheme which defrauded the state of approximately $56 million.
Both clients are protesting their innocence. So we are not accepting any responsibility for any such missing funds. That's point 1. Point 2, the state would have to bring the evidence to show that such funds were missing in the first instance, and that these persons have anything to do with missing funds.
If the judicial review was to be granted, it could mean the accused will be freed of charges. The question is whether another body will be able to lay the charges.
We will be taking issue with that, because what you'll be doing here, you'll be putting these people through a process again, which they've already gone through. Although it's a nullity, but we'll be taking issue with that. That that you couldn't bring any fresh charges in the circumstances.
Why not?
Well, we'll be taking issue. There'll be a legal. There's a principle known as abuse of process.
With the high-level corruption case taking yet another twist, there's no doubt Jamaicans will be watching the proceedings closely. Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.